Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19.
All right, Coach, thank you. There's a look at New Era Field here in Orchard Park, New York. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Mexico City Conquistadors and the Buffalo Bills. Here comes Grant on the return. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Now Rudolph on first down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man?
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on fourth down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Good blocking there and nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Here comes a first down throw for Rudolph. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play. On first down, Rudolph steps away to his left. Open space inside the 10. And he will score. It's a touchdown. Mason Rudolph with touchdown number 12 on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Boswell good with the extra point. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off, too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted-for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice game.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Bills getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Foreman, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 3rd down, Ryan. That's complete. Hooper. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a 1st down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Foreman. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. The numbers on the ground for Foreman in last week's contest. 18 carries, 57 yards.
I'm so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working. And they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. From the shotgun, Ryan, and that is incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this 1st quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And here now the offense heading back out there. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rudolph on 1st down. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Here's Rudolph now on 2nd down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Rudolph looking to throw it. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. As as his guys are in for 6. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Rudolph throwing on second down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson down to the 25. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Ryan throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills have taken the lead. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
This is Clement. He finds an opening past the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. That good for 22 and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Rudolph. And he'll be hit from behind. Taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Rudolph. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A carry for Foreman, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
A chance for us now to look at this Bills defense again. And a big reason they have the lead right now is this. And now back out comes the offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too... And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kwan Williams. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On second down, here's Ryan. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Here's Ryan to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Von Miller in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. A run, it's Clement. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Leopard!
They'll run with Clement. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On first down, it's Rudolph. This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. On second down, it's Bell. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Rudolph. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
And that's complete to Jesse James. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. On the carry, here's Clement. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead. Extra point put through by Boswell.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Mason Rudolph leading this offense out for their next possession. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
I used to be surprised about a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And a touchdown! A great play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
The return man is Grant. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18, so the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. To throw is Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. That one good for 21 yards. And that'll make it 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's Ryan under a heavy rush, and down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. A dump off to Anderson. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
21 yards. Well done on the return. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Rudolph now to throw. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Jerry Hughes in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And they'll go on the ground. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a gain of 11. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll run again with Clement. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Rudolph on 1st down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, here's Rudolph. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. 3rd and long, it's Rudolph. Now he steps away. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks...
C.J. Anderson, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. C.J. Anderson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
As you tell me all the time, Brandon, mark that play down. That should be a tie game. Instead, a great job by the guys blocking it. And, boy, they've got to have a great lift going off the field.
And the further it happens in the game and here in the second half, it just gets more magnified. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too confident.
Now he'll be hit from behind, and he has landed on hard. Stacy McGee. in there to get him for a loss of 5.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. 38 yards on the scamper there.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll fake it. Now Rudolph. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the return will stop right around the 25. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on second down.
Back now in Buffalo. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. They go play action with Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. 12 yards on the return that time. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make this a second down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
Now Rudolph. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. On first down, Rudolph. And that is incomplete here.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On 2nd and 10, Rudolph. Forced out to his left. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Now a handoff looking right. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Now they try the right side here. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They will snap it to Rudolph. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Bills' goal line stand is going to get them the football back. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. 3rd down from the 2, 4th down lurking, but one more shot here. What do you do, Charles?
I think you run it here. Try and create some space, get your punter a little bit more room, and if you're really lucky, you get enough space to get 1st down. But I think right now the big thing is take care of the football, get space for your punter, and get rid of the ball.
Mr. Conservative.
Yeah, I do kind of wear that well, man. I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Ryan, he goes underneath for Anderson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run with Foreman. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on fourth down. He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field.
They won't, and offensively, your challenge, should you choose to accept it, take care of the football and run out the clock. They can't just go and turtle, as we like to call it, just tuck in and just sit on the ball here. Try and get that first down and finish the game off.
Throw left side complete. It's James. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now a handoff looking right. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. Rudolph. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down. Here we go on fourth. Rudolph. And no, it's incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, that's the fourth time that they've tried to go for it on fourth down. They've only converted once, Charles.
And obviously not a good percentage. And if you're going to go for it on fourth down, you think that you've got the right play dialed up. You can't be stopped. Your momentum's going to keep going. But 1 for 4, that tells you that you need to look at things in a different way, and you need to tip your cap to the defense. They've done a great job.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on second down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die fourth down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They're just brimming with it right now.
Now it's Ryan. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
And the Bills are going to recover. And some space here. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Ryan. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.